Good evening, everyone. It is December 1st. I can't believe we've already made it to December.
I know. What a quick semester so far. The countdown to Christmas has finally begun.
I'm excited about that, and maybe a change in the weather too to make it feel a little bit more like Christmas.
Yep, should be getting a little change in the weather coming up next week. Gonna have more about that in the show. It's been a busy day in news around the Tallahassee region.
Yeah, it's been a very busy day, and we wanted to start the newscast by just reading an excerpt from President Thrasher's message to the students.
This email was sent to the student body today around 4:30. President Thrasher has said that we are at a critical point in the history of the Florida State football program. It is very, very important that the students and fans show up tomorrow and vocally support the team and Coach Odell. This is a great program with a storied history. We have great fans, and we want them to show up and carry on with the class they have always shown. So come to the game tomorrow. Should be beautiful weather out there.
Yeah, maybe a little cloudy. We are seeing this change in the weather pattern that's keeping it a little bit more soupy outside, but I mean, we've got a full show. Change in the weather, December, Christmas.
Finals week coming up.
Oh, gosh. Why'd you have to say that? Everything was going well until you brought up finals week. I'm not ready for finals week, but you know what? We're almost there. We're almost to Christmas break, and I think this weekend's going to be a fantastic weekend. Winterfest Festival tomorrow.
Yes,
it's going to be a good day.
Yep, it should be a good week coming forward. Should be a great start to our December.
Yeah, and we actually saw some clouds and some rain really this afternoon, which we haven't seen in a while. Sydney, in the last hour, she went to the roof and saw what it was like out there. Here's Sydney with more.
Thanks, guys. Now I am here on the roof of the Love Building, and if you take a look behind me, the sky is clearing out nicely from those showers that we saw earlier today, and that full sky of clouds that we saw earlier today, making our high only reach the high 70s. Now for this time of year, that is still extremely warm and above average. So as we go into the night, we're going to have a rather warm night as well. 56-degree temperatures for tonight, some places reaching a little bit higher, and into tomorrow, the same boundary that we saw stall out today and cause a little bit of rain does have the opportunity to meander back into our area, keeping those rain chances around. Now, into the next 2 days, Sunday and Monday, things are going to be looking beautiful, and if you are a lover of cold weather, just wait for next week, because the coolest air mass yet is going to make its way into the region. Now back to you guys.
And that was a great live shot from Sydney from the roof of the Love Building earlier today. And actually, we have a lot of news coming out from Delaware from yesterday. What happening?
Yeah, Delaware had a 4.1 magnitude earthquake that was likely a record setter for the United States' first state. It was the strongest earthquake to strike Delaware in almost 150 years.
Yes, that's really impressive. This earthquake was actually shallow in depth. It was only about 5 miles beneath the surface, but the shock waves could actually be felt in different states, such as Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, and also New York City felt the effects of that as well.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's almost 350 miles as to where they could feel the effects of this earthquake.
Yes.
The earthquake that hit Dover was also the strongest to strike the continental United States on Friday, but Delaware is not really considered under seismic risk right now. It's about a medium seismic risk, so not too bad out there.
Yeah, there's some facts about just earthquakes in general, that the higher you are in a home, actually the more likely you'll be able to feel an earthquake occurring.
Yeah, the magnitude of an earthquake actually measures the energy released and the intensity of the shaking from the earthquake.
Yes, and we actually have a live look. We actually have a look at our local weather with Michael on the wall.
Thanks, Jennifer and AJ. So the current temperatures across the Big Bend region, you can see our cool spots are actually Monticello and Tallahassee at 66 and 67 degrees respectively. The reason why they're cooler, they actually got some rain earlier this afternoon. We're going to show that to you in a little bit. The rest of the region is mainly across the low and mid 70s. Now, our almanac was showing that we actually got up to 78 earlier today, well above the average of 69, and actually just near a record of 83 set back in 1931. Our low is also well above our average of 44. We are 61 degrees this morning, nowhere near a record low of 20. I was telling you about we got rain earlier today. Tallahassee actually picked up 14th of an inch of rain at the airport, and Mariana got 26 of an inch of rain earlier today. That is due to a stalled off front situated across the Big Bend region. That is what is fueling all these showers and storms we had today, and we're going to have something similar into tomorrow. Now let's look into next week. Next week we're going to have a pattern change, and this is going to be a really drastic pattern change for the entire 2/3 of the nation. Now you can see in the middle south, they're expecting a 70% chance, according to NOAA, they're expecting a 70% chance of below average temperatures for later next week. So it is going to be much colder air coming into next week, and it's going to be a shock to the system for a lot of the eastern 2/3 of the nation. In terms of the rest of the 2/3 of the nation, a 50-50 chance of below average temperatures for late next week. Now for tonight, it is going to be another warm one. 57 degrees will be our low. The clouds will be around due to that stationary front nearby, and as we've been saying the few nights, expect some patchy fog late in the night and early tomorrow morning. By tomorrow, we'll warm up to 76 degrees, well above our average for this time of year, and we're still going to get the slight chance of rain due to that stalled out front nearby. Now, as we look at the 5-day forecast, again, the 20% chance of rain on Saturday due to the front. It will clear out a little bit on Sunday and Monday, but then the rain chances increase on Tuesday and Wednesday due to that next cold front, and the air behind that cold front will be some of the coldest air of the year so far. Now let's give it up to Matt to see how the southeast is looking.
Thank you very much, Michael. The southeast was looking pretty nice. We saw quite a bit of cloud cover, and this is from a viewer, Shane Pendleton. You might have heard that name before. Well, he's up in Huntsville right now, and he captured this awesome picture of some illuminated clouds, the sun behind the clouds, and it's been a while since we've seen a lot of cloud cover like this, especially in this area. High pressure's been dominating, and now we're starting to see the clouds again. Sunsets should actually be pretty nice over the next few days as the clouds hang around. So thank you, Shane, for sending this picture in. It's a really great picture, and here's what's going on across the rest of the southeast. Up near you, Shane, north of you, Tupelo, 60 degrees right now. The moons are out. The sun has begun to set across the eastern coast of the U.S. 67 here in Tallahassee. Down the state we go. 78 degrees in Miami, 73 in Orlando. So a rather pleasant evening. A little bit more humid out there than what we've been seeing. And then the winds, well, we can actually see where that stationary front that Michael talked about earlier, it's actually situated right in here because you see the winds behind it pointing towards the southeast, and then the ones in front of it. Even here in Tallahassee, we've got some southeasterly winds, and of course coming from the north just behind that front. But that front's not going to make much of a difference here for us. However, it'll make things feel a little bit more humid. We saw the rain around, and this is exactly what we're seeing here in the dew point. 65 degrees in Tallahassee. So once we get those temperatures to meet the dew point, we could see some patchy areas of dense fog overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. So just keep caution of that here locally and across the southeast, especially with Atlanta, Montgomery, New Orleans. Seeing the dew point values in the mid-50s could see some fog in those locations. Now, as we move on across the southeast, the 24-hour temperature change. We've actually seen a drop in the temperature once the clouds and the rain started overhead. It cooled things down quite a bit. Really, this isn't showing us much at all, except maybe a little bit of a cool pool. Try saying that one 10 times fast down here in Alabama and Mississippi. But really, we're not seeing too much. But check back next week, next Wednesday and Thursday. That graphic's going to look really interesting. Tonight's forecast, though, 50s across the south, a little bit higher up in Arkansas and into Tennessee. We could see some 40s, maybe areas getting into the 30s. It's that time of year. It's December. We should be seeing a little bit cooler than this, but don't you worry. If you're a fan of the cool weather, it will be coming around next week. Now, tomorrow's forecast, 79 degrees. We may crack 80, so a gorgeous day at the football game. Head on out there. It is College Football Saturday, a huge day for football across the entire country. So if you're heading on out, it should be a nice, tranquil day. So, 66, Little Rock. 67 6 in Tupelo. Gorgeous evening across much of the southeast. I just wanted to touch on this once more because I thought it was actually pretty neat to look at, and that's the dew point. We haven't seen dew point values like this in, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks or so. It's been dry. It's been so dry outside. I know my skin's been feeling it, but now that we're seeing a little bit more humidity in the atmosphere, things are starting to moisten up just a little bit. And now we're going to send it over to Michael and Sydney at the desk to talk more about some cool weather stuff.
Thanks, Matt. So you probably might have heard this week, there's a pretty important golf tournament going on in the Bahamas. Again, Tiger Woods is making his return to professional golf in the Bahamas at his tournament at the Hero World Challenge. Now, weather is actually looking really good in the Bahamas. I know a lot of you in the north don't like the warm weather, and you're probably like, oh, I want to go to the Bahamas right now.
Yeah, I would love to go to the Bahamas, not particularly to watch golf per se for myself, but these temperatures are looking awesome because we see Saturday a high of 82, so they're seeing beautiful weather, and they have winds up at 12 miles an hour, which I have heard for golfing, calm winds are the best. So you think that 12 miles an hour is really doing anything?
With the type of course they play, the top 8 of the top 10 players in the world are playing this event, and the one thing that will make this tournament challenging is the wind. So 12 miles per hour will make the next few rounds, the third and final round, very interesting for the Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas.
And I also hope that they don't forget that sunscreen because the UV index is going to be high and upwards of 10 for this time. So that sunscreen definitely while being outside for that long is imperative.
Yeah, but in terms of weather, when you're in the Bahamas with the scenery and with the marina, they actually have a marina right near the golf course they play in Albany. With the scenery and the weather, you can't complain about it. You can't complain about anything.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't be complaining if I was on the beach in the Bahamas right now. I might be complaining if I was at a golf tournament.
Oh yeah, yeah, but I'm excited for it's in the Bahamas and Tiger's back. We all love watching Tiger, so I've been excited.
So now that we just had a little look at those islands, we are going to take a look at the entire United States out at the wall with Jennifer.
Thank you, Cindy and Michael. And taking a look at current conditions across the United States, we're seeing a range in temperatures, 46 degrees in Boston, 78 a little bit warmer in Miami, but as we make our way across the west, it's at 49 degrees in Kansas City and also 50 degrees in Denver. So we're seeing a range in temperatures right now across the United States. And taking a look at our national look, we have a stationary front and a low pressure system along the southeast, which is making the clouds start to build up. Those dew points are starting to rise, so it's starting to feel a little bit more muggy along the southeast. And along the west, we also have a stationary front and a low pressure system, which is bringing some winter weather to portions of Colorado and Wyoming and other places along the northwest. And with that, we also see a difference in temperature. With that warm front, we actually see a 12-degree heat up from this time yesterday in Lamar, Colorado, and also a cold front passed through last night and into today, and we actually saw a 12-degree temperature decrease in Charleston, West Virginia. So we're definitely seeing a lot of weather patterns going on across the United States. Let's take a look at the northwest. We actually have some winter weather along portions of Wyoming, Idaho, and also Utah, but also some heavy showers coming along the coast in parts of Washington, along with that, along with those coming off the Pacific. So we're definitely seeing some heavy downpours. We have actually a winter weather advisory for portions of Washington State, Oregon, and also Northern California, and also a winter weather watch for portions of Wyoming, along with that. And also down near the southeast, coming a little bit closer to home, we actually have a fog advisory for portions of Alabama and Mississippi. So if you're heading out tomorrow morning to commute, make sure you keep those low beam headlights on because you will see a little bit of fog happening because of these dew points are just so high along the southeast. Tonight's forecast, expect temperatures to range, especially throughout the southeast, 57 degrees for Tallahassee, about 40 degrees for Washington, D.C., and also 30 degrees for Denver. They could see some snow going out throughout tonight. And looking at tomorrow's forecast, it's pretty similar condition, 79 degrees here in Tallahassee with partly cloudy skies, 54 degrees for Washington, D.C. They're seeing a little bit of a cool down. But as we make our way towards the west, 60 degrees with nice sunny skies in Kansas City, and also 62 degrees with partly cloudy skies in Denver, and some rain pattern going on with 49 degrees in Seattle. But overall, temperatures should be staying pretty nice along the southeast as AJ gives us a look at our local forecast.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, currently around the southeast, we have some pretty mild temperatures after that rain came through this afternoon. Tallahassee sitting right at 67, Gainesville down there at 69, Jacksonville 70 as well. A little cooler up here in Savannah and Macon at 68 and 66 respectively. Should be an overall beautiful night. Few clouds in the sky, but temperatures are going to be right in that comfortable range, mid-60s, lower 70s. Satellite and radar. We did see those rain showers pass through this afternoon right about 2 o'clock. They weren't too long. They only lasted about 30 minutes, but the rain did get decently heavy at times. They did say that we got about 0.14 inches of rain earlier today. Current winds, right around 5 miles per hour out of the southeast in Tallahassee. We can see that these winds are directly due to that stationary front that is pretty much stalled right over here between Tallahassee and the Dothan area. Winds aren't too brisk out there. Jacksonville's sitting right over around 7. Not too much going on out there with the winds. Current dew point, Tallahassee, it is a little bit muggy after those rain showers pass through. 65 in Tallahassee, 65 down there in Panama City as well. Gainesville sitting over at 57. It's a little more dry down there, little less muggy. Tampa, 62. Orlando, right at about 60, and Jacksonville sitting right at 55. So it's pretty comfortable out there. Not too bad, not too muggy. Girls' hairs aren't going to be frizzing too bad today. So tomorrow's forecast for the football game. Hope we got a great turnout. Right around kickoff should be right at 70 degrees. A mixture of sun and clouds. Not going to be too sunny out there. I would still bring the sunscreen, but it shouldn't be unbearable as to some of the games we had earlier in the year. Right around halftime, temperatures are going to warm up. Right about 74. Not too bad out there though. It should be a beautiful day for football. Hope we can get everybody out there, support the Seminoles. After the game, comfortably warm. Nice post-game activities. Few clouds in the sky. Should be an overall beautiful day for football. Tonight's forecast. Tallahassee, we're going to be getting down right around 54 degrees. St. Mark's at 57. Perry down at 53. Pretty average night. Temperature is going to be in the low to mid 50s all around our region. Carabel and Apalachicola are going to be the hot spot tonight at about 56 and 57 respectively. The clouds will stick around, and they will continue to stick around into tomorrow as well. Tallahassee, we're going to be getting right at about 76 degrees, excuse me. Slight chance of rain, only about 20%. So if you are going to the game, you might want to pack your poncho. They do not allow umbrellas in the stadium, so maybe pack your poncho. So the week ahead, tomorrow 76, Sunday 75. Temperatures are going to continue to increase throughout the beginning of the week until we get that front that passes through that brings back some cold weather. So look out for that next week. Now I'm going to send things over to the lab with Matt.
Thank you very much. It's nice to see the cold weather coming, and we're saying goodbye to hurricane season. Of course, December 1st means that we can finally put all of this behind us. And yesterday we asked the question to try to sum everything up. How many named storms did the Atlantic have this hurricane season? And we posted this on our Twitter page. We hope that you voted, and here's the answer, and you'll actually be pretty surprised. And the answer is D, 17 storms. We had a very busy hurricane season. The first bit of it, we saw some tropical storms, a couple smaller hurricanes, but when things started to go, and they went quickly, and we saw some fairly devastating storms out there. Now, we wanted to change our viewpoint, because just because hurricane season is over with here in the Atlantic does not mean that we are out of the woods in the entire world. Let's actually go down to Australia. Our producer for the day, Margaret, is very familiar with Australia, and we've actually, it's hard to see, but it's outlined in here, and we are in the Indian Ocean. We actually wanted to circle this area right up here. This is actually tropical cyclone Dolly, And Tropical Cyclone Dolly, we can zoom in here just a little bit. There we go. Now we're cooperating. We got colder waters off to the west, and we've got the warmer waters situated over the central Indian Ocean. And this is going to actually be on a southward trajectory. And something crazy about the southern hemisphere hurricanes, well, tropical cyclones in this case, spin in the opposite direction. So it's hard to see from this imagery here, but this thing is spinning opposite of what you would normally expect. So we will watch this one closely. Looks like it's not going to affect any land, but it is tropical storm season across other parts of the world. Anyway, we're going to move this back on over to Sydney for a look around Florida.
Thanks, Matt. Now we are going to be taking a look around Florida, and thankfully no more activity going on in our tropics, hopefully, since the hurricane season is now officially over. Current conditions around the region: 69 in Tallahassee, Jacksonville sitting at a comfortable 70 degrees. And as we make our way down the peninsula, Orlando sitting at 73 and Tampa at 76. So it does get warmer as you go more south. Miami, the warmest, sitting at 78 degrees. Now take a look at this satellite. We do see some rain and showers along with this stationary front that is seated right northwest of the region and actually dissipating overhead, and that is what caused those showers and what caused the cloud cover that I was showing you guys on the roof a little bit earlier today. Now, you do see the clouds making their way on the radar still, but things should be clearing up as we go into, not into tomorrow, those rain chances are still around tomorrow, but things will be clearing up into the next few days. Now, taking a look at water vapor, the green does indicate that moist air and the orange the dry air. So we do notice that divide, the moist air really pushing that dry air out as it makes its way south into the rest of the night. So Tallahassee seeing more moisture than we're used to. I did notice my hair was a little harder to do today than it has been in the past. Take a look at these winds, all light and variable. Tallahassee seeing 5-mile-an-hour winds coming from the southeast and making their way towards the northwest, and those are nice low winds. Down here at West Palm is the only place that winds are ramping up almost to 10 miles an hour, and their winds are coming from the northeast and making their way southwest. So around the region, altogether light winds. Now, if we're going into tonight's forecast, 57 in Jacksonville, 57 in Tallahassee as well. So the North Florida region all going to be sitting in the high 50s. As we make our way down to Orlando, 64 with Tampa at 65. So those two places, if you are going to be making your way to Orlando tomorrow or tonight, there are beautiful conditions to be held there. And West Palm Beach seeing 69-degree night and Miami 70 degrees. Now into tomorrow, this is why I mentioned making your way to Orlando. 82 degrees and a beautiful sun. The sun will be out if you are going to any of the theme parks in that area, or if you're going to a nice trip to Jacksonville over there to visit some beaches. They're seeing beautiful conditions as well, 79 degrees, and the sun will be out for them. So anywhere along the coast, I would definitely recommend a road trip tomorrow to visit some of these areas with the beautiful sun, since Tallahassee is going to anticipate some showers into the day tomorrow. So Jennifer, what's going on locally, since I just talked so much about Florida?
Yeah, as we take a look at current temperatures across the Big Bend region, we're seeing pretty moderate temperatures right now. 67 degrees here in Tallahassee, 7 degrees in St. Mark's, and also 71 along the coast in Apalachicola. So as we get into the night, it's going to start cooling off a little bit. But we're definitely seeing these on the local radar. We're seeing the showers that came by earlier today starting to make its way off the coast. So we definitely won't see any rain activity going on throughout tonight. It could be a little bit more muggy, though, going into the morning hours. As we take a look at the past 24-hour rainfall, we definitely saw a bit of rain with those showers that came on through our area, about 0.14 of an inch, and also about 1/4 of an inch. They saw a little bit more in Mariana along the northwest of the Big Bend region. Taking a look at our going into next week, we're going to start off warmer than average going into the beginning of the work week. But as we go on throughout the week, this cold front will start to make its way across the United States, and it will also bring us cooler temperatures going into the end of next week. So by Thursday, we're going to start seeing a bit cool, a lot more chilly temperatures. We could see temperatures ranging into the upper 30s for actually Friday morning. So So as we take a look at tonight's forecast, expect temperatures to be a bit more mild, about 57 degrees. We're going to keep the clouds and also some fog because these dew points have been a little bit high. We're going to keep that fog chance going into tomorrow morning, but the winds are going to be calm, so we won't really see much mixing activity there. For the game tomorrow, expect some sun and clouds at kickoff around noon, 70 degrees, but by halftime, it's going to increase to about 74 degrees with partly cloudy skies. And by after the game, if you're heading out to celebrate, 76 degrees. It's going to stay a bit more comfortable. We keep the partly cloudy skies there. Tomorrow's forecast, expect temperatures to be 76 degrees. We're going to keep it warm and cloudy, and that slight chance of rain around 20%. So maybe carry an umbrella if you're heading out tomorrow, or even a poncho if you're heading out to the game. Taking a look at the week ahead, we're going to see temperatures going into the weekend about 77 degrees for Monday with that low around 54 degrees. But we're going to increase the rain chances going on throughout the middle part of the week, about 60% chance of rain because that cold front is going to start making its way across. But take a look at those low temperatures, 59 degrees Wednesday, but by Thursday, we're going to see the low temperature about 42 degrees for the start of Thursday with that 20% chance of rain and that high at a nice 60 degrees, so it's going to feel very, very nice going to Thursday. And take a look at Friday. That low temperature is going to be in the upper 30s. So what do you guys think about that cold weather, Cindy and Michael?
Well, I love cold weather personally, so I think awesome things about that little cold breeze that we're going to be seeing for the next week.
I'll consider that 7-day. I'll call it a tale of two seasons. Like spring, summer-like weather these next few days, and then you get the shot of winter. A shock to the system,
oh
as I've
boy,
been
do
saying.
I love winter. I'm so excited for this. But, Michael, are you going to the game?
I am not going to the game, but I will be supporting the Seminoles at home. I do have other plans, but I will be supporting them at home, especially through this tumultuous period. It is really good that we should always support our team. I hate those who bandwagon. You always support your team no matter what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to be supporting the team from home as well because finals week isn't really going to allow me to be actually watching the game at Doak.
And you know what? I think the weather by finals week will actually support the type of atmosphere for finals week. Nobody will want to go outside.
Stay inside, keep your jackets on.
Have a cup of hot chocolate. Just
definitely.
Relax. Well, not relax. Study.
Study.
What
Coffee. But let's take a look at this 7-day. So you really can tell that front is going to be a more strong front because look at that chance of rain on Wednesday. 60% chance of rain. So that really does show. And then bringing those lows all the way down to 42. But if you want to keep up on this front with us, follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU weather.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FSU weather.
And don't forget that we are also streaming on YouTube, youtube.com/FSUweather/live. I know some of you guys are probably watching us on YouTube right now.
Yeah, and don't forget about the Instagram at FSU Weather. We always love pictures around here in Tallahassee.
Yeah, send us pictures of your dog. I love dogs.
Yep. And so, again, the football game is on Saturday, and it's looking like it's going to be a warm forecast for that. The rain chance on Wednesday, I hope the rain from today and Wednesday actually helps the drought situation because it's going to be cool. And for all of us here at FSU Weather, I am student meteorologist